Dear learners, this is Mohammad Javed Ali Joy. Today's topic is word formation. You know, in English language, words can be formed in various ways. Out of them, I am going to discuss one of the most important items of word formation, that is derivatives or affixes. You know, affixes are of two types, prefix and suffix. But today, I am going to discuss to you three types of affixes or three types of derivatives that are used to form new words. They are prefix, infix and suffix. So let's go with three types of affixes. At first, here you see prefix, infix and suffix. Prefix means while the derivatives or affixes are used with the previous part of the parenthesis or given word to form new words, they are called prefix. When the affixes are added in the middle part of a word and forms new word, they are called infix. And finally, when the derivatives or affixes are added to the latter part or last part of the word or parenthesis to form new words are called suffixes. With an example, let's see of each types. Here, prefix. That means you have to use the derivatives or affix at the earlier part of the word to form new word. Here, prefix we can say n plus large. Here the parenthesis or given word or main word is large, and I have used one affix before the word large, and the new word comes enlarge, and the new word comes enlarge. Here the prefix is en, and the parenthesis or given word is main word is large, and the final word or new word is enlarge. And in case of infix, I have already told you that infixes alters the word in the middle part, neither earlier part nor the later part. Rather, they alters the word in the middle part. Let's see. Here we can say foot. Foot is the parenthesis or given word, and in the middle part we will remove oo and use ee in place of o, and the new word will be fit. Foot, fit. Here you see new word is formed with the parenthesis word, with the parenthesis foot, but no alteration in the earlier part or latter part, rather in the middle part. So it is called infix. And suffix, if we add something or some derivatives or affix at the latter part of the word, it turns into suffix. For example, enjoy is the parenthesis, then use meant, and finally the word becomes enjoyment. Enjoyment. In this way, we see that affix or derivatives are of three types: prefix, infix and suffix. Prefixes are used at the earlier part of the word to form new word, infixes in the middle part, and suffixes at the latter part or ending part. Here in the word enjoyment, we find the suffix at the latter part of the parenthesis word enjoy plus ment. In this way, suffix, prefix and infixes are formed. And now we will go through details in the parts of speech, how they are used to form new parts of speeches. So let's go. Dear learners, now we will see the uses of suffixes and prefixes to form various parts of speeches. Here you see I have written suffixes to form nouns. That means what are the suffixes that are used to form new nouns? Here the suffixes are meant, tion, sion, nce, tance, tence, T-Y-C-O-Y, hood, D-O-M, dom, sheep, I-S-M, bility, B-I-L-I-T-Y, bility, A-L-I-N-G, L-U-R-E, lure, S-U-R-E, sure, T-U-R-E, tor, then tor, T-O-R, E-R-A-G-E, age, T-H, N-E-S-S, etc. That means there are unlimited suffixes to form nouns. Out of them, most of the suffixes are used here that are mostly used. The suffixes that are mostly used to form nouns are mentioned here. Now we will see how these suffixes form nouns. Here you see move plus ment. You know ment is a suffix, and here we have already mentioned ment. Move plus ment equal to movement. The new word is movement and it's a noun. Then act plus shun. Shun is here. Act, A-C-T, act plus shun. New word is action, and action is a noun. Third, literacy. Literacy, literate plus C-Y. C-Y suffix is used here. New word is literacy. Literacy is a noun. Then child plus hood. Child plus hood, childhood. Then fail plus L-U-R-E. Here is L-U-R-E, and fail is a verb, and L-U-R-E, when you use L-U-R-E there, and new word is failure, and it is a noun. Then educate plus T-O-R, tor, educator. Educator is a noun. Then grow is a verb. If you use the suffix th with it, new word forms growth, and growth is a noun. Here kind is an adjective, and if you use suffix ness with it, the new word forms as kindness, and it is a noun. In this way, we see that these are the suffixes that helps us to form general nouns. And now we will see where to use nouns, because my today's topic is formation of words and their uses in sentences. Dear learners, after the formation of noun, now we will see the places where nouns are mainly used. There are as many as 7 major places where nouns are mainly used, and we will go to those places step by step. Here in the whiteboard, look at, and I have already written 2 stages where nouns are used. In the first stage, or step 1, adjective plus noun. That means if you get any blanks just after an adjective, you have to use nouns there. Mostly nouns are used just after an adjective. Let's go through an example where noun can be used after adjectives. In the example, global dash communicate is the parenthesis, accelerate, mutual dash understand, and dash cooperate. Here in this sentence, here are 3 blanks, and we will see whether nouns can be used there or not. And in the example, here you see global. Undoubtedly global is an adjective, and after adjective, as the rule says, you have to use noun. The noun form of communicate is, yes, you are right, it is communication. Communication. So in first blanks we have to use global communication, as the rule says, adjective plus noun. Accelerates, mutual, understand. Mutual is also an adjective. So after adjective we have to use noun again. Understand, the noun form of understand is understanding. 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 And cooperate, the noun form of cooperate is cooperation. Cooperation. In this way we see that after adjective comes the noun. In the second step, here you see article plus noun or article adjective plus noun. That means articles are used only to determine whether the noun is distinct or not. If the noun is distinct, we use definite article. If the noun is not distinct, we use indefinite article. So what's the use of articles? Yes, articles are always used just to determine whether the noun is distinct or not. Therefore, after article we have to use nouns only to determine that noun. Article plus noun. As the rule says earlier, before noun an adjective may arise. So article plus noun or article adjective noun, but always the blanks be here with noun in these rules. So let's go through the example. To cross the grow rate, here the parenthesis is grow rate of Bangladesh is a night, parenthesis is night, for country like Pakistan. To cross the grow rate, here the article is the, and we have to use article plus noun. The noun form of grow is growth. TH, with the help of suffix TH, we can turn the word grow to noun as growth. The growth rate of Bangladesh is a night. The noun form of night is nightmare. Is a nightmare or daydream for a country like Pakistan. Now at step 3 you see that the rule says preposition plus noun. That means after preposition you have to use nouns, and again noun plus of plus noun. That means of is such type of preposition that takes nouns in both sides. There is also exception in some cases of in case of appropriate preposition, in the prior part of you may not get nouns. So let's go through the example. Example, without dash improve in dash educate sector, the dash proper of Bangladesh is impossible. Here the word without is a preposition, and after preposition, as the rule says, we have to use nouns. Improve, the noun form of improve is improvement. Improvement. So here in these blanks we have to use improvement. In is also a preposition, and after preposition we should use nouns. Educate, the noun form of educate is education. Without improvement in education sector, the prosper. Here is the preposition of, as I have already mentioned here, of takes nouns in both sides. So before of we have to use the word in the noun forms. Prosper, the noun form of prosper is prosperity. Prosperity. The noun form of prosper is prosperity. Prosperity of Bangladesh is impossible. Now at step 4. In step 4, here you see possessive form plus noun. You know every subject has 3 forms: subjective form, objective form and possessive form. After possessive form you have to use nouns. The possessive forms are like my, our, your, in third person his, her, its, their, and if we get any names, any nouns with apostrophe s, that means Jamals. Like this, these are possessive forms. If you get any blanks just after these words or these possessive forms, you have to use nouns. As the example says, world's dash temper is on the rise for our fool. Here world's apostrophe s is a possessive, so we have to use temper in the noun form. The noun form of temper is temperature. Temperature, T-U-R-E. World's temperature is on the rise for hour. Hour is a possessive form, so you have to use fool in the noun form. Foolishness. Foolish, suffix ness comes here. Foolishness. So world's temperature is on the rise for our foolishness. In this way we can see that possessive form takes noun form just after it. Dear learners, now we are at step 5, and in step 5 you can see that have verb plus nouns. You know have verb are of 3 types: have, has and had. If these 3 verbs are the main verbs to a sentence, those verbs are known as have verbs, and after that have verbs you have to use nouns to complete the sentence. In this example you can see he has dash cruel in his character, but his father had simple and polite. Here the blanks are just after the have verb. Here the have verb is has and again had. So after these two have verbs you have to use nouns as the rules says. He has cruel. The noun form of cruel is cruelty. C-R-U-E-L-T-Y. He has cruelty in his character, but his father had. The noun form of simple is simplicity. Simplicity. Simplicity and politeness. His father had simplicity and politeness. So here we see that nouns are used just after have verbs. And in the final stage of the uses of noun, here in step F, we can see that nouns are used as subject or object to a verb. That means in most of the cases we will find that nouns are used as subject or object in the sentence. Out of the 8 parts of species, only nouns and pronouns can be the subject and object to a verb. Here is the case with noun. So let's go through the example. Dash adulterate is a great offense. Here the verb is and you have to use noun just before the verb is as the subject to the sentence. The noun form of adulterate is adulteration. A-D-U-L-T-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. Adulteration. Adulteration is a great offense as the subject. And again, award has been created to catch, adulterate and award them, punish. So has is the verb here and we have to use award as the noun as the subject to the verb has. The noun form of award is awareness. Awareness. Awareness has been created to catch, adulterate. Catch to whom catch? To the adulterators as the object. Adulterators. Adulterators and award them with what? Award them with punishment as the object. Award them with punishment. So in this way we find that there are 6 major places where nouns are mainly used, and if you go through those rules I hope you will get benefits. Dear learners, now we will discuss the suffixes that are used to form adjectives. Here you see that able, OUS, tib, full, less, ed, ing, ary, ISS, word, WARD, SOME, some, ENCAL, TIC, NIC, noun plus LY, etc. These are the suffixes that are mostly used to form new words, and the parts of speech is adjectives. So let's go with some examples. Comfort plus ABLE, comfortable. If you get able at the latter part of any word, you can say that it's an adjective. Fame, F-A-M-E, fame plus OUS, famous is an adjective. Act plus tib, tib also suffix, OUS suffix, tib suffix is used to form the adjective form of act, and that is active. Use plus full, full is the suffix and the adjective is useful. Wood, wood is noun, and while we use wood plus en suffix, it becomes wooden and it turns into an adjective. Wooden is an adjective. Care plus less, careless, less suffix and careless is adjective. Quarrelsome, quarrel is noun and some suffix is used here. Quarrelsome becomes an adjective. The person who is prone to quarrel is called quarrelsome. World plus ly, that is noun plus ly. World is a noun, and after it, if we use ly, it becomes an adjective. Here worldly is an adjective. Now we will go to the rules where adjectives are used in the sentences. Dear learners, here in the first step we can see that adjective plus noun or article adjective noun. As we have seen earlier in the rules of nouns, we have seen that adjective plus noun, but the blanks was in the place of nouns. That means after adjective we have to use nouns. Vice versa, here is also before noun we have to use adjectives. Same is the case with the second rules, article adjective nouns. That means if we get any blanks before a noun, we have to use adjectives, and before adjectives we can get articles also, as we have seen in the previous rules in the case of nouns. So here is the example. Any fool did. The word did is a noun, and before noun we have to use adjectives. Any fool did may bring unexpected result. Result is also a noun. In both cases we have to use adjectives just before the nouns. Any fool. The adjective form of fool is foolish. 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 Any foolish deed may bring unexpected. The adjective form of unexpected is unexpected. Unexpected. Unexpected result. Any foolish deed may bring unexpected result. Now at step B, you see that be verb plus adjective. That means after be verb you have to use adjectives. And as you know earlier that be verb are of 8 forms: am, is, are, was, were, be, been, being. After these 8 forms you have to use adjectives. In the earlier part you have seen that after have verb we have to use nouns, and after be verb we have to use adjectives. Let's see an example. Being care, he brought bad luck to himself, but his younger brother was act and succeeded in life. According to the meaning, here is the word bad luck. Care has 2 adjective forms. One is careful and another is careless. As he has brought bad luck, after be verb we will use careless. According to the meaning, being careless, he brought bad luck to himself, but his younger brother was. Was is the be verb, and after it we have to use adjectives. The adjective form of act is active. His brother was active and succeeded in life. In this way, we see that after be verb we have to use adjectives. Now we are at stage 3. In stage 3 you can see that adjective plus noun. I have already told you that before noun you have to use adjective, and again before adjective another adjective can be used. That means 2 adjectives can be used side by side, adjective plus noun. So let's see with an example. Here the example is: the earth is facing with overwhelmed environment pollution. Here the word pollution is a noun, and before noun we have to use adjectives. That means environment should be used adjectives, and again before environment there is another word, and we have to turn this word also to adjectives to suit the meaning. The earth is facing with overwhelmed. The adjective form of overwhelm is overwhelming. Overwhelming. The earth is facing with overwhelming environment. The adjective form of environment is environmental. Environmental pollution. The earth is facing with overwhelming environmental pollution. And then stage 4. Here in stage 4, adverb plus adjective. That means after adverb we have to use adjectives. The boy was seriously dash. Here the word seriously is an adverb, and we have to use after adverb the word must be turned into adjectives. The boy was seriously owned. The adjective form of owned is owned. Owned. In the next example, the scenario of Cox's Bazar is very charm. We know the word charm is noun and very is an adverb. After adverb we have to use adjectives. That is, charm should be turned into charming. The scenario of Cox's Bazar is very charming. In this way we see that there are 4 places where adjectives are mainly used. Now we will see the suffixes that are used to form verbs. Here you see that fy, lise, lijд, en, se. These are the suffixes, and there are also many other suffixes that are used to form verbs. Let's go through some examples. Beauty plus fy. You know beauty is a noun, and if we use fy suffix after it, it becomes beautify, and beauty noun turns into verb. Then material and liac. If we use material plus liac, if we use the suffix liac, it turns into materialize. Material is a noun and materialize is a verb. Here the word broad is an adjective, and if we use broad plus en, the suffix is en here to turn the word broad to broaden, and in this way adjective broad turns into verb after using en suffix, broaden. In an example, let's see. We should read books to broaden our outlook. We know 2 plus v1, that means infinitive. Here we should use verb present form after the preposition to. We should read books to broad is the adjective form. Here we have to turn this word to verb. Broad, the verb form of broad is broaden. To broaden our outlook. In the next example, the Pakistani oppressors could not dash material their dreams. The Pakistani oppressors could not dash material. We know could is a modal auxiliary, and after it we have to use verb base form, and here the word material is a noun, and we have to use the verb form of the word material. The verb form of the material is materialize. Materialize. JD or AC. The Pakistani oppressors could not materialize their dreams. In this way we can see that in suffix prefixes verbs are also used. Dear learners, now we will learn the suffixes that are used to form adverbs. Here you see that adjective plus ly equal to adverb. That means most of the adverbs are formed with the suffix ly, and we have to add this ly with adjectives. In the earlier parts, in the case of adjectives, you have seen that noun plus ly equal to adjective, but adjective plus ly equal to adverb. Remind it. Noun plus ly equal to adjective, but adjective plus ly equal to adverb. Adjective plus ly, word, long, wise, etc. These suffixes are used to form adverbs. Here in the example we can see that wise plus ly. Wise is an adjective, plus ly equal to wisely, adverb. Next, side plus long. Side, long. If we use long suffix with side, sidelong becomes an adverb. Then again, back plus word. Back we know, back is used as noun and adjective also. If we use back plus word, backward, it turns into an adverb. And again, other plus wise. If we use suffix wise before other plus wise, otherwise turns into an adverb. In this way, adverbs are formed. Now we will see where adverbs are used in the sentences. You have to remind that adverbs can be used anywhere in the sentence. Anywhere in the sentence, an adverb can be used. But there are 5 special places where adverbs are mostly used. At first, you see step A, at the beginning of a sentence. You can find adverbs at the beginning of a sentence. If you see in the sentence, there are all the systematic words like subject, verb, object. And you will see that there is no space to use nothing, but there remains the space for adverb, because adverb can be used anywhere. So before subject you can use an adverb. Here you see dash accident, we meet again. We met again. Here subject is we, verb, and again other words we have got that. And before the subject we can use accident as adverb. Accident is a noun. We have to turn it at first into adjective, then ly to turn into adverb. Accident. The adjective form of accident is accidental, and again we have to use ly with this adjective to turn into adverb. Accidentally we met again. As in the earlier part we have seen that in the beginning part adverb can be used, and here in the second part adverb can also be used at the ending part of a sentence. That means at the very beginning or at the very ending an adverb can be easily used. Here we see in the example that we learn our mother tongue. The sentence may be finished here with these phrases. We learn our mother tongue. The sentence may be finished, but yet there is a word, and that word might be an adverb. We learn our mother tongue, nature. We have to turn the word at first to adjective, natural, plus ly to turn into adverb. We learn our mother tongue naturally. In the third stage, between helping and main verbs. Adverbs can be used between helping and main verb. Here is an example. She has recently shifted to Japan. Here has is the helping verb and shifted is the main verb. In between the helping and main verb we can use adverb. She has recent, the adverb form of recent is recently. She has recently shifted to Japan. In the fourth stage, here we see adverb plus adjective. That means before adjective we can use adverbs. As we have already said in the rules of adjectives, adverb plus adjectives also we used there. Here the blanks is just before the adjective. So let's see. He was great shocked. Here the word shocked is an adjective, and before adjective we have to use adverb. He was great. The adverb form of great is greatly. Greatly. He was greatly shocked at the sight of the ghost. And in the final rules, after a verb to modify it. Here we see that to modify the verb, adverb can be used just after it. In this example, he has done the work. The task is completed, but to modify the work done, the verb done, we can use an adverb. He has done the work, care. The adjective form of care is careful, and we have to turn it to adverb carefully. He has done the work carefully. In this way, we can see that adverbs can be used in major 5 places. Out of these 5 places, adverbs can also be used in any other places of the sentence. Dear learners, now we will discuss about the uses of prefixes. Here I have mentioned some prefixes. Look at here the whiteboard. A, B, B, for, miss, in, ig, il, im, ir, over, with, under, anti, dis, de, post, pre, sub, en, mono, non, an, extra. These are the some of the prefixes that are mostly used to form new words. Besides this, there are hundreds of prefixes that are available to form new words. But out of them, these ones are mostly used. So let's see how they are forming new words. In case of prefix, one thing you should remind, that is prefix. If you add prefix to any word, the new word always follows the parts of speech of the given word. That means if the parenthesis is noun, if you add prefix before that noun, the new word will also turn into noun. If it is adjective, prefix added words will also turn into adjective. If it is adverb, then again after using the prefix, the word will turn into adverbs. Only in 2 or 3 cases we find exceptionals. such as here is a prefix like en. If you use en as the prefix, sometimes it turns into verbs, and there comes the exceptionals. So let's try. Miss plus guide. Here the guide is verb, and if we use miss just after it, new word is misguide. Guide is verb, misguide is also verb. New word misguide also verb. Like is a verb, dislike after using the prefix dislike also verb. Large is an adjective, but if we use en before it, it does not turn into adjective, rather it turns into verb. Here is the exception in the case of en. If we use en as prefix, the base word is one part of speech, and the new word turns into another part of speech. Precondition. Condition is noun, precondition is also noun. Normal adjective, abnormal is also an adjective. Uncultured. Un is prefix, cultured is adjective, uncultured is also adjective. A smoker is a noun, and non-smoker is also noun. Regular is adjective. If we use prefix ir, irregular is also an adjective. Noble adjective, ignoble is also adjective. And appropriate adjective, if we use in prefix before it, inappropriate also turns into adjective. And moral is an adjective, immoral is also adjectives. In this way, we see that prefixes follows. After using prefixes, the new word also follows the parts of speech of parenthesis or base words. Dear learners, now we will practice a passage where we will use suffixes and prefixes according to the word order of the sentence. So let's see. Here in the first sentence, look at here. The aim of dash educate is to make a man fully equipped. We know of is a preposition, and as the rule says, of preposition and after preposition we have to use nouns. So after of we have to use nouns of the word educate. The noun of the word educate is education. Education. So the aim of education is to make a man fully equipped to be dash. We know be is a be verb, and after be verb we have to use adjectives. So equipped to be, use the adjective form of use is useful. To be useful to himself and to society. Then a true educated person. Person is a noun, educated is an adjective, and before adjective we have to use adverbs. True is an adjective, and we have to turn this true to adverb by using the suffix ly. Truly, T-R-U-L-Y, truly. A truly educated person should be self-reliant with regards to his personal needs. He should be well-mannered. Thought. Here you see thought. Here is the series of parts of same parts of species: well-mannered, comma, thought, comma, sympathy, comma, and cooperative. These four words will follow same parts of speech because it is a series of same words, same types of words. Well-mannered is adjective, so later we have to use adjectives. Thought, adjective form of thought is thoughtful. Well-mannered, thoughtful. Sympathy, the adjective form of sympathy is sympathetic. Sympathetic. Well-mannered, sympathetic, and cooperative. He should be thoughtful, punctual, and dutiful. Here is also a series of adjectives: truthful, punctual, and dutiful. Dutiful. Dash, punctual is a great virtue. Punctual is a great virtue. Here you see the verb is, and this punctual is the subject to the verb is. So subject should be in the noun form. Punctual is an adjective, and noun form of punctual is punctuality. Punctuality. Punctuality is a virtue that makes a man prosper. That makes a man prosperous. Prosperous. And then an educated person tries to. We know to is a preposition, and sometimes to is used as the infinitives. After to we have to use verb base form. Move is already a verb, and we have to use the appropriate form of move with using prefixes. Remove, we have to use remove. An educated person tries to remove the sufferings of his countrymen. An educated person tries to remove. The prefix re is used here to make a new word. Remove the sufferings of his countrymen. He also helps others in attaining. Attaining what? There should be a noun as an object of the word. He also helps others in attaining. Self-reliant. The noun form of self-reliant is self-reliance. Self-reliance. In this way, we find that the rules of nouns, adjectives and adverbs in the process of suffixes and prefixes help us to complete these types of questions. And I hope you will get benefited by following my lectures today. With this hope, Allah Hafiz.